Barcelona, the city where every corner looks like a postcard and every glass of wine costs less than a Starbucks latte. Today I'm sitting down with my friend Jenny Ramírez, who I've known for about 5 or 6 years here in Colombia. She's been living here in Barcelona for the past 2 years, and she's going to tell us what life really costs here, from rent prices to groceries, healthcare, and those very European hidden expenses that nobody tells you about. This is the inside scoop on what it takes to actually live in Barcelona. So grab your café con leche and let's dive in. So what took you to Spain?
Was really easy for me in that moment to have a plan to get the different papers that I need to be there. So
Okay.
the plan that seems the easier one. It looks like that.
Okay. So what was the process like moving to Spain as a Colombian? What kind of visa did you get? And are you a citizen yet?
I'm a kind of citizen.
Okay.
I have all the rights that a citizen have. So the first thing that I do was I went there, and you need to do something that is a padrón. That means that you have a place where you live. So for that you need someone with a place that puts you in a legal way, like you are living there.
Okay.
I made that. I came back here. You have to wait 3 months and then you can get married. I came back, I organized everything here, go there, and I get married just to make all the process of the papers. That give you like 6 years of legal estate in Barcelona. Now I have 2 years and I can present an exam. I just did it like the last week. So I did the exam and then I came here, and now we have to wait 1 month and then we present the papers. They say that is 6 months or a year. It's different for each person.
Okay. And so because my understanding is a Colombian or anybody from a former Spanish colony can live in Spain for 2 years and then apply for citizenship. But
Yes.
you're doing it a different way.
Yes, but if you don't get married, you can live there, but you have to do the padrón.
Yeah.
You have to prove that you live there.
Uh-huh.
But it's really tricky, but because you have to prove that you live there, but you don't have papers. So you have to have a way to live for 2 years.
Okay.
And then apply. They just ask you the padrón, and that show that if you have any contract with someone. So the people that do it that way is hard.
Okay.
It's really hard. And the other way is a study, but you have to choose a kind of a study that really takes the time of that 2 years, because some people have done that, but then they realize that they don't count those 2 years and they already have spent their money in the master and the time of being living there. So
Okay. And so here, as a gringo here in Colombia, it's hard for me to find an apartment because they want papers that that are Colombian papers I can't produce. I can produce the US equivalent, like bank accounts. I don't have bank accounts in Colombia. I have them in the US. They don't like that. They want them here. And so it doesn't matter how much money I have, they are like, no. And so I've fortunately found some ways around it. Do you have the same problem in Spain?
yes.
Okay. So how do you get an apartment in Spain? What do you need?
You need to have an account as well. And as Colombian, opening an account without any jobs and with anything can be hard. The moment that I opened it, I didn't have the NIE. That is the first ID that you get. So I only had my passport. It was super hard. No one wants to open an account because I was Colombian.
Okay.
Colombia and Chinese people have a restriction there. I went to a lot of banks and some of them told me like, it's because you are Colombian. But a Colombian friend that have lived there told me go to this office. And I went to that office and they opened it, but I have to pay an insurance for 1 year. That is good because you have more healthcare, but it's another thing
expense.
that you have to
Right.
pay. But if you already have the NIE, it's really easy to do it. But I needed really faster to have some place to rent. And you need to have a contract or with an indefined work from a year. You have to show that you have already worked a year there, and you have to show that they pay you this year. So that's hard.
I always like how we can give you an apartment, but you have to have lived here for a year first.
Like
How do you? Yeah.
how? And you have to have a bank account, but I'm getting in.
Right.
So how? And that's one. So it's complicated, but wait, let's say that you get it. Then you have to have the money to pay 1 month from rent and 3 other months So it's a lot of money that you need to have. And how I made it is that I have a friend that had already a work from a year, and she just put the papers for me, and I appeared there as well, but she rented for me.
Okay.
I put the money.
Okay.
But she rented from me because she already had this work. And she could make it because the rent that I had, it was like temporary rent. It's no long term. It's there 11 months. I think that is one of the hardest things to find a place, and because everyone wants to live in Barcelona and there is no more place to rent, and you go to an apartment and it's a line of 20 persons to just see.
What do apartments cost in from the low end to the high end in Barcelona?
Well, that's the other thing. Usually people at the first get a room. When I get to Barcelona, just arrived, I rent 2 rooms. But it was a friend of mine, so I rented to him, so it was really easy. But in an apartment, imagine, when I get to this apartment was 1 year and a half ago, and I pay 1,300. Now, that apartment is 2,300.
Wow.
And just past 1 year and a half.
Wow.
So I was surprised. Imagine the people that lived there, that I was like, for 11 months, now it's impossible for me to afford it.
Wow.
So that's an apartment. In a room, you can find 600. But if you are really lucky, if it's the friend of someone, but you see rooms from 1,000. A room, not apartment. You're sharing with people.
So, but this is really just pretty much Barcelona. The rest of Spain isn't suffering this way, is it?
Yes.
It is, okay.
It is. Maybe the competition is less. The prices, they are not like this is cheaper. No, because people want to live in Spain. So they don't compete in Barcelona, they go other place, but the prices are around that. It's the same in Madrid.
Okay. So the costs of apartments are high. It sounds like they're higher than a lot of places in the world, but food is cheaper though, isn't it?
It's cheaper.
Okay.
It's cheaper than here, even than Colombia.
Wow, cheaper than Colombia.
If you make like for your home, going outside to eat in Barcelona can be really expensive. Like Madrid is cheaper if you want to hang out with friends and have amazing food. It's cheaper than Barcelona.
Okay.
To hang out. But to just make it to your home, have food in your home, is really cheap in any of those places, everywhere.
Okay. What would you say groceries cost for one person for a month in Spain?
100.
100 euros, wow.
100. It depends how much you eat, but for 2 people, it's 300. But full. Yeah. Like really good. So sometimes I buy things for my daughter from the Rappi, or even now that there's something we went to buy some groceries with my sister, and I was like, with all the money that she paid, we will have more food and with more quality, like good food.
Yeah, well, the European Union has all of these regulations on food. They don't allow chemicals. They don't allow a lot of things which are good for the people. So yeah. So also, one thing I've noticed here in Colombia, in my opinion, I think the electricity and the water are expensive. How is that in Spain? Is like utility bills, gas, water, electric, internet?
Different from Colombia is that here we have strato.
The stratus 1 through 6.
Yes.
Yeah.
In
6.
Spain doesn't exist that.
Okay, so everybody pays the same.
Everyone pays the same.
Okay.
Let's say that 100, but not the month. Because you pay 2 months of water, you pay electricity. It depends on how you have the packet. So let's say like 100, 150 for 2 people.
Okay.
Like, with the water, with the electricity, around that each month.
Okay.
So it had variations. Sometimes it's a little bit higher, sometimes a little bit low because you pay 2 months.
Okay. And then transportation, like doing the metro or whatever.
There's a quite big difference between Bilbao, Barcelona, Madrid. They have different, but in Barcelona it's expensive.
Okay.
Comparing with Bilbao or Madrid or Malaga, but it's cheaper than here, I think.
Okay.
Because you just pay 23 for the month.
For the whole month, okay.
For the whole month.
Unlimited rides?
Unlimited rides.
That's not bad.
That's not bad, but it's expensive in Barcelona.
Yeah, I could see that, but like here, I'm thinking, if I'm not mistaken, I think the Transmilenio, I've never rode the Transmilenio, but I've heard, I want to say it's like 3,000 pesos a ride, which is 75 cents.
And you don't have the possibility to do the month.
Yeah, well, if you have to do it in the morning and the evening to get back home, then you're already more expensive than it is in Barcelona.
And you have only Transmilenio. With this, you have tram, metro, bus, even train.
Oh, so it's shared amongst all of the
whole
network.
Different.
Okay.
Yes. So I found it really cheap because you can even go outside Barcelona with the same charge. It's good with the same card. But here you can't even pay for a month. So it's cheaper than here. But for example, in Madrid, you can share. You can put, I can pass and give it to you, and you can pass too. In Malaga too. And in Bilbao too. In Barcelona, you can't do that. It's just yours.
Okay.
So it makes a difference because if you are going to travel just to know, which is cheaper. And if you buy the month in Bilbao, you pay like nothing for every ride. Like 66 cents or something like that.
Yeah, wow.
So it's really cheap. But that doesn't happen in Barcelona, but I found it really good anyway.
Okay. Do you ever take Ubers or taxis?
Yes.
What's a typical ride cost?
It depends, but 15, 10, if it's not too far. Sometimes I go up to the mountain and it can be 25. But I compare to today, I was about to come in taxi and it was really expensive because it was like 20 pesos.
20,000 pesos?
20 pesos.
So that's about 5 euros maybe.
Yes, but coming from my home to here is half an hour.
Okay.
You cross Barcelona in half an hour.
Yeah.
Doesn't take that much time.
Half an hour gets you 3 blocks here.
yes. So that was when I compare and I say like, it's a long distance too.
Yeah.
But it's around that. The other good thing about Barcelona is that everything is so close that sometimes riding a taxi, you have the bicycle too, that I love bicycle. It's really cheap as well.
Yeah.
So you have a lot of possibilities to move around. A lot of people doesn't have car because of that.
Well, and like the bicycle. Here, the bicycle might get stolen. How is Spain on safety and on theft?
No, they stole things as well.
Okay.
As here north, and you have a public system of bicycles.
Okay.
So you don't have to ride your bicycle.
Okay.
That is good because you are not thinking of parking or anything. You just look at the map like here to here.
And you just dock your bike.
And you pay, I don't remember, the entire year is like 30 euros. And then you have like 5 minutes of free ride. And then you start paying like 50 cents.
Okay.
So it depends how much you use it. It's not that much. And they are electric bikes. You have both, electric and not electric.
Okay.
But if you go in electric, it's really fast. And the city is think with the rides of the bicycle. So you have really easy routes everywhere.
Okay. And then
before we jump in, I've got something brand new that's going to make your life a lot easier if you're thinking about moving to Colombia. I'm releasing a new series of 2026 Colombia regional guides, 7 in total, covering every major region of the country. Each guide includes up-to-date cost of living for the most popular cities in the region, safety indexes, healthcare information, a directory of trusted doctors, attorneys, tax specialists, visa services, and relocation specialists, plus the visa requirements and options. Everything you need to plan your move. They're normally going to be $29 each, but for our Black Friday launch through December 15th, they're only $19, and you can add any extra region for just $10 more. They'll start rolling out between December 15th and the 23rd, and every one of them gets quarterly updates through 2026. And if you want all 7 and access to the new passport community launching January 1st, you can pre-order that now too. Members get all 7 guides included, plus access to our private forums, cost of living data tables, and visa resources for every region. The community will be $29 a month or $299 a year, and there's also a pro plan with a monthly live Q&A session for $49 a month or $499 a year. But right now, during pre-launch, you can lock in the 2026 year for half price, $149 or $249 for the year. And remember, that $249 option gets you live Q&A sessions every month with me on a Zoom call, and you can ask whatever you want. Everything's linked below. Grab your regional guide, pre-order your community membership, and join us as we make living abroad easier than ever.
Healthcare, the moment you moved, did you have to have like a private insurance or something?
No.
Okay.
So when you do the padrón, the thing that I told you that you say, okay, I live here, you just go and show it with your passport. You don't even have to have a knee or nothing, and you already have healthcare.
Okay.
Free healthcare.
Wow, free. Okay.
It doesn't matter if you are from Spain or not. If something happens to you, if you already did the registration, and then you can ask for anything. And it's good. They think that it's really bad quality, but they don't know what it is to live here.
Well, so like I've done a few videos on that. Do you know the quality of healthcare here is better than the US?
Yes, here. And better than in Spain?
I don't know about Spain because I've never needed to use it. But here, the United Nations ranked Colombia number 22 in the world, the United States number 37.
No, and it's really expensive.
It's super expensive.
Super expensive.
Well, like here, you know, I might pay $30, 30 euros for the EPS here. And when I go in, it covers everything. I don't get a bill. In the United States, you might pay $600 or $700 for your insurance. And then when you go to the doctor, about a month later, you get a bill from the doctor for what insurance said, oh, we don't cover that. So if you went to the doctor and it was maybe a $400 doctor's visit, you might still have to pay $100 or $150 of it. So in Spain, you don't get any bills afterwards. It's just...
No, I don't know. It like is the one that they give you, the public one. As I told you, I have to pay this insurance for open my account. So I usually go to that one that is really good. It's 16 euros.
Okay.
And I have a big cover. And for example, my partner was about to go to San Francisco, and the medico told him like he have a problem and you are not going. You can imagine what can happen if something happened to you there. Even if you pay an insurance and everything, they are going to make this really, really expensive. And he made this intervention in Barcelona, and he only paid 150 for all the procedures.
Wow.
With staying 2 days in bed, in the hospital, in a single room.
That would be thousands of dollars.
Thousand. And he pays something like me, like 16 in the each month. So even if you pay that extra, it's really good. And with the last technology, with the last anesthesia, so it's good.
Okay.
I have heard that here in Colombia there is a lot of tourism now, of medical tourism, like people.
There is, yeah. There's a lot.
And for the surgeries and everything.
Yeah. So Mexico, Colombia, and then also you even have like in Asia, you have Malaysia and South Korea. Those are probably your hot spots those are your medical tourism spots now.
Imagine. And I have here, because we have a friend that is a surgeon. The people from here and Cuba, they are really valuable. Like when people say, no, he's Latin American, that is like, yes, we like that doctor, we want that. And Cuba people have a really good fame.
Yeah.
And people from there as well. But I think there is a big competition here and there that I would say which is better.
Yeah, Colombia is very popular for the medical tourism, for dental work, obviously plastic surgery, but even just other procedures.
Yes, but yes, you have to pay here.
Yeah, but it's still, it's so much cheaper than the US. So.
But the good thing there is that even if you don't pay, you can go to the doctor.
Wow, okay.
Paying nothing. It's not going to be super fast, but it's like what you get here paying. You have the basic pay and you have the prepagada. It's the same that you get here for the basic. That is not that amazing. It's the same there with paying nothing.
So now, over the years I've known you in Colombia, you always had a car. And so now my understanding is it's a pain in the butt to get a Spanish driver's license, but if you have a Colombia driver's license,
it's easier.
Yeah, okay. So what's the process of that?
It's easier, but take a lot of time. So if the people is planning to go there, do it as a first thing, because we have a special commitment with the
almost like a treaty or an agreement or something.
Yes. If you get it here, you just can't have it there. But you have to ask for an appointment. It's impossible to get that appointment. So you call, and so there is people that already know that. So you pay to someone to get in charge of that. You pay like 30 euros.
Okay.
Just to the appointment. It took like 4 months
Wow.
to them paying to say, okay, we have an appointment. in 5 months. And so you have to wait 9 months. And then you have the appointment and they manage everything and then you have to wait again. So even if you don't have to make all the exams and everything, it would take like a year to have it.
Okay.
And they give you a permission. And what happened to me is that they give me the paper like, yes, approved. But I don't have like the
driver's license.
The driver's license.
Okay.
And it have to take like 3 months. And they passed 3 months, 4 months. And I was like, what is not getting here? No, you have to make an appointment. I went, I make another appointment, easier, I don't have to pay. We forget to put your photos, so maybe in a month.
Wow.
But I finally get it, but it was like more than a year in that.
Wow.
Just having everything.
So what was the total cost being a Colombian to get it? Was just the 30 euros for the appointment?
That's it.
Okay.
So you have, but I would recommend to pay that, and because otherwise you're going to be, I tried it like 2 months, calling and calling, but it's hard. It's hard to get that appointment. They are collapsed with a lot of things.
Okay. Do you think it's harder in Barcelona because there's so many people than it is in other parts, or do you think it's the same all over Spain?
They say that is the same.
Okay.
Because I have my friend of Sevilla, the one that helped me with the papers and everything, and she took the long time to like a year as well.
And so while you've been there, do you see like more Americans, more British? Do you see anyone more Chinese? What seems to be, or is it just a mix of everywhere?
A mix of everywhere.
Wow.
A mix of everything, because you have people from a lot of places. I would say no. Colombians, we are a lot of Colombians in Barcelona, in Barcelona. We are a lot of Colombians.
I like that, Barcelona.
Barcelona.
Yeah, because like even I noticed when I had an Uber driver in Spain, I think every Uber driver I had might have been Colombian.
I would like to live outside Barcelona right now, like in the mountain.
And so if you lived outside Barcelona, could you still take the metro to get in?
The train.
Okay.
Even you have 2 different lines of train to get to the same part. Car is really easy. I think they want to take, one of the things that I really like about Barcelona is all the system of transportation. People that is from there, they still say, this is a mess, but coming from Bogotá is found it really organized and really cheap and a lot of options.
Okay. And is there anything else that you've noticed in costs living in Spain versus here?
The education.
Okay.
The education, because you have free education there.
Yeah, that's the one thing that kind of shocked me here, was that you pretty much have to pay to go to school. And in the United States, even education is free.
Yeah, you can pay there too if you want some private.
Right, you can do the same in the US.
But you have the possibility.
But yeah, everything's free. And so like I have 2 sons that are adults now. They went to a public school because the public schools where we lived were good.
And the after class things, that everything here you have to pay and pay a lot, and you have free activities there. For raising a kid, I think is really good. Yes, you have a lot of possibilities.
Okay.
Of explore, not paying, or if you want to pay, you do it.
Well,
but here is hard.
And speaking of activities, what about as an adult? Are there a lot of things to do?
A lot.
Okay.
And free too. I really like that about Barcelona too. That they have a lot of fiestas in the streets, like different celebrations. Every weekend there is a celebration of something. So you go and you have live music, and if the street is closed, and you can have drinks that may be a little bit more expensive than in a bar, but it's helping to the people of the neighborhood. They have this culture of neighborhood. They are really united. So that's really nice to feel. So you always will have something to do. You have a lot of museums. You have a lot of, again, to visit really close places. And if you don't have some celebration inside of Barcelona, for sure, half an hour you are going to have a celebration. And they are free, because there is allowed there that if you have an association, a cultural association, you're allowed to make 20 outside encounters, because you have to say that you don't sell anything, that is just the culture, and that you don't have to pay nothing to the ayuntamiento or to anyone if you are associations. So that's why they do a lot of this, and they say that they are not selling, that is like you are helping them. but you pay, and that way so they have a lot of these celebrations, so it's good. You have everything. If you want something super expensive and amazing, you have it too. But a lot of culture is for free.
So now that you've lived there for a couple of years and you're working there, obviously it's more expensive than here because of the rent, but do you feel like it's a lot more expensive there? So it's not a lot more, but the pay is probably better, isn't it? Or is the pay hard also?
I think for the cost of living, it's okay. I understand that Spanish people say like it's not enough, because it's true. If renting a place is 150, something really cheap, and the basic is the same.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, so the thing is, I think wherever you go in the world, everybody always thinks that their cost of living is high and their healthcare isn't good.
Yes, it's true.
And because they don't know what to compare it to.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. But when you compare to here with the basic salary, what you can do.
Well, the basic salary here is crazy low. Maybe 300 euros a month is the minimum. And do you know what the minimum is in?
1,600.
Okay, so 1,600, yeah. Okay. Yeah, so that's more in line with what it would be in the US as well.
Yes, you can allow with that a rent neither.
Right, you would have to have roommates or rent a room.
But they have that culture. We don't have that culture here. But again, having food, and if you are not paying the education of your kids, so you are not paying the healthcare. When you are used to this kind of style life that we have, and compare there, you say, okay, I can live better here, the quality of living, to working and have the networking. And in another kind of jobs, people usually think that having informal work is going to be easy. It's not easy. Something that people think that is not going to happen, but having formal work is really hard. And even if you have papers, if you don't have connections, it doesn't matter if it's not film industry, it's complicated. And I work in cultural things as well. Catalan is really important in that specific thing. So if you don't have the Catalan, it can be a little bit more tough in cultural things. In another, you will find things in hotels and tourism and all these things.
Okay.
There is more offer because people doesn't want to do that jobs or helping in bars and everything. So you will find, but it's hard. And if you want something specific, if you don't get connection, it's going to be a little bit hard. A lot of people work as babysitting or in a bar. That things you can make it out.
So it's better to be a digital nomad and have work elsewhere.
Yes.
Okay.
It's the best way, I think, to move there. It's what people doesn't want to happen more, because that is the thing that is happening, no? That digital nomads can afford a lot of things there that people that just work there can't. But I have to say that the first work that I have there was in English, not even in Spanish.
Wow.
Because a lot of people doesn't speak English, Spanish people from the dictadura Franco. So they need people that speak English. The two first works that I had in Barcelona is because I speak English.
Okay.
Not even Catalan or Spanish, but yes.
Okay.
So that's Barcelona through the eyes of someone who's actually doing it, not some influencer on a weekend trip. Huge thanks to Jenny Ramírez for sharing what it's really like to live here. She's just launching her own YouTube channel soon, where she'll be showing tours and local experiences around Barcelona. I'll drop the link in the description below, so make sure you check it out and show her some love. By the way, YouTube actually created the like and subscribe buttons so small channels like mine can compete with the big guys. You know, Mr. Beast and Mark Rober. So if you hit those right now, you're basically telling YouTube you're rooting for the underdog. And if you want to keep exploring life abroad, make sure you're subscribed to The Passport. It's our free email newsletter and digital magazine that dives deep into the cost of living, visas, and life in cities around the world. If you're into real estate or investment opportunities, check out Brokor, our global real estate and business marketplace. And for everyone living or thinking of living in Colombia, join Bogotá Nomads, our community for expats and digital nomads here in Bogotá. Tons of meetups, advice, and real-world connections. Thanks for watching. Stay curious, stay global, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.